Okay, so I just got back from a ride not too long ago. I explained some of the stuff that's going to be in the upcoming vlog, but the short version of why I'm having this conversation right now about like self-discipline, and I don't know what I'm going to title the video yet because of course I haven't thought that far ahead, but about like discipline and kind of just like it's whatever. My struggles with self-discipline, I guess that's whatever. This kind of got brought on because there's this app called Trailforks that I use. There's things called badges that you can get awarded for achieving certain things, so many trails or so many kilometers on trails or things like that. On July 2nd, I rode a trail and I got a badge, and I was like, oh, what's this badge for? Like, return to the earth, and it had a number 2 on it. I was like, what? And then I looked, and it was for this contest that you ride 30 days in July. And so I read through the contest, I was like, oh, sick, and you have to like opt in, and then I opted in. I didn't know about it. Like I said, it had a number 2 on it because it was July 2nd, and so there was obviously a badge for July 1st. Now there's 31 days in July, so I thought, oh, okay, you ride 30 days in July, it doesn't matter like which day you skip, right? It just counts 30 in total. And I didn't see anything in the rules that kind of countered that idea that I had in my head, and I just found out today. Today is day 8, it's July 8th. I rode 7 days in a row right now. I've been pushing myself really hard. Yesterday I actually rode twice because the first trail that I rode, like the GPS was janky and off, and it didn't count that I did it. So I went again later in the evening and I rode another trail just so I could get the badge for the day. And so I've been pushing myself really hard to do that. I've never ridden 7 days in a row before, and I just did. So I mean, that's kind of a cool achievement for myself. But the thing is that I just learned when I got back, I just looked at the rules again or whatever, and I was like, what? It's only from July 1st to July 30th. That's all it counts for. I was screwed before I started.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I'm not going to get entered to win like the big grand prize, which is a big fancy bike. There's some little prizes along the way that I might be able to win just for like riding that day. But like I know I won't be entered into that thing. And because I know that, now I'm just like turned off the whole thing. Like I love riding. I still really enjoy being on my bike, but now that contest is like not at all I just realized it's going to sound really echoey. Oh well. Now that winning like that contest is not even winning, like even I mean if I just did the 30 days, that's an achievement, a huge achievement in itself, right? When it would say like, oh wow, you completed this thing, even if and then the people that complete that get entered in to win this bike, that would be a great achievement in and of itself. That'd be super cool. I'd be really happy that I did that. And that's the thing, they put on this contest. So even if I, like whatever, I can't even do that though. Like I know I'm not going to get entered in to win the bike, but now there's no hope of like actually completing every single day. If I do all the days left still in the rest of the month, I'm still only going to get 29 badges, not 30, because I missed the first day because I didn't know about the contest. I didn't know, like I should have got an email about it or something. I opted in for those, but whatever. Didn't know about it, so I didn't even, I just found out about it by accident because I rode a trail on July 2nd and got a badge for it. Anyway, this all is coming to the fact that like, I was just thinking, well, who cares? In my head, like, so they created this contest, so Trailforks created this contest, and it's like, oh hey, and you know, it's like a catalyst that you can opt in, and there's there's rules that you have to achieve, and if you don't do those things, then you're out of the contest. I'm generally pretty bad, or I don't know, like I don't do that, like I am such a proponent of growth mindset, and I really push that on students and friends and anyone and myself. Like I really value challenging yourself because that's so important to me, and it's why there's a lot of people I don't like because they don't challenge themselves. They just take the easy way out all the time, etc. Obviously, there's things that I do for my own convenience at times, that it's like taking the easy way out or just doing something, whatever, right? I do that too. It just depends on the time and place. But generally, like I want to push myself. I want to, like, usually I push myself here and I don't push myself here. My diet is horrible. I think people might be surprised at maybe how fit I am or strength-wise, because there's a lot of muscle under this fat. But I mean, that's the thing, is even the amount of working out that I'm doing now, like all this cardio and all this other stuff that's happening with biking so much because I love biking, even with that, like, anyway, that's going off the rails. My diet's horrible, and that adds to the discipline thing. I'm not disciplined enough to do the research, to commit to eating this specific stuff. Like, I'm very unsatisfied when I eat too healthy sometimes. I'm like, well, that didn't do anything for my taste buds. Like, and if I don't feel full enough, like, there's a lot, and I want to get better at that, and I'm going back and forth with it all the time, and it's a struggle. But generally, when it comes to my physicality, I have not challenged myself enough to really do those things that would benefit me. Like, I really recognized in the past couple of years things about my mental health. I'm like, whoa, and I just like blew my own mind with all these different things that I can do to exercise my mental health, to like understand my mental health better, my anxiety, to kind of help change me as a person in a way, because I'm like, oh, why am I so impatient? Why am I so mad all the time? What can I do about that? Well, where does that stem from? And then doing all this research on myself that was easy to do. It wasn't like having to go and look up healthy recipes for an hour or two, because that type of research is really annoying for me to do. I don't like doing that kind of thing. But this other research was like reading things that were enjoyable, having conversations with people, whether it be like a counselor or like other people with anxiety, or even my close friends sometimes and my family. Like, in the past 2 years, there's times where I've definitely asked them their opinion of certain things, and just being self-reflective. That is all research too. That kind of stuff was easy. Anyway, like I just for a long time have always just been really focused on self-improvement, but my physicality doesn't show that, because it's hard. That, to me, that's way harder than, all these things that I do creatively and artistically, and how I challenge my mind and my emotions and my mental capacity and all that stuff. To me, that's worth more to me. But the thing is that this body is a vessel, right? Like, I can't use this if my body fails and dies of a heart attack because I'm shoving horrible food in my face all the time. I recognize that, and yet it's still not enough to make me just like make drastic changes. I just keep thinking like, well, I'm doing better than I was before, and that's good, and like, like I'm making excuses. I'm doing what's convenient rather than what's more difficult. In saying this now, I know that I'm not just going to magically snap my fingers and change the next day. I want these changes to stick. Part of it is I know myself, and like part of it is things like money, like whatever. I can justify too much, and I know that's a problem. Like, there's a lot of reasons why I haven't made drastic shifts, and some of them are for sure excuses, for sure. But that's the thing. I don't know. I wanted to talk about this because it's interesting to me that like, once this whole Trail Forks thing happened, and I was like, oh crap, well, there's no point in doing it now. Like, there's no point in pushing myself to ride every day now for the rest of July, because what's the point now? Like, doesn't matter anymore. Like, I'm not going to get entered to win the thing. I'm not going to get all the badges. And there's a part of me that's like a really big completist. So when it comes to things like books and stuff, like, if I started buying a series of books, I want all of them. Or like, I mean, I guess that makes sense to a lot of people, but I mean, I don't know, there's just like a thing that like, it's really hard for me to have a part of something. If I enjoy that thing, I want all of those things. It makes me a little anxious to know that something's not finished. So like, yeah, that's really difficult. I don't like having things half finished. And so, I don't remember why I said any of that. Oh yeah, because the badges. So those badges are going to stay there, and I'm going to have like all these badges there, and that number one badge will always be missing, and that'll bother me, and there's nothing I can do about it. But that's what's so annoying, is that like I haven't really realized this in myself that much, because I've never been one to be like, oh, there's a contest, like I never thought of myself that way anyway. So there was this challenge at the high school I was working at. Basically, they did it like every semester, I think. Well, not every semester, but they did it a couple times that I was there, and I had like a T-shirt from it and stuff, and you just like opted in money, and you would get this T-shirt, and it also, all the money went to like the charity of the person who won, and like I knew I wasn't gonna win, but it was just like this thing about recording your fitness, and like you have certain goals that you make, like everyone has these goals that they make. It's related to fitness and diet, and even things like sleep, like just healthy body things, and it made me accountable, because I was like, oh, I have to record this stuff, and I had to submit it to someone, and there's no judgment there, so it wasn't like I felt like I was going to disappoint somebody other than myself. But the thing is, again, it was someone else's idea, So when it comes to this fitness stuff, like I started riding my bike more for this than this. Like, I mean, I enjoyed, I guess, this and this, like, for my heart and my mind, like the mental health aspects. Like, I mean, I rode my bike before because it was fun, and I was like, oh, riding bikes is just fun. Like, it's really fun to do. And then I got more and more into it. But like, I also recognized, hey, being outside is affecting my mental health, and being active outside is doing wonders for my anxiety, and like giving me time to reflect, and having alone time that's just like mindfulness and like all these things. So like the fun aspect and the enjoyment aspect, and then the mental health aspect were the reasons that I really got into this. I knew that it was going to benefit my physical health too, but that was like the last priority. So I don't want to harp on that too much, because that's probably a conversation for another time. But like that's unfortunately, my body is, I'm not happy with my body, and I've never really been happy with my body since I was a teenager. I probably, like, whatever. This is probably the most I've ever weighed in my life, because I'm like near like 300 pounds, I think. And like I said, there's, especially the past couple months and since biking, like I've gained a lot more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. But like that's still. I mean, I don't own a scale. I haven't weighed myself since last time I was at the doctor. That was like 6 months ago. So I don't know what I weigh now, but I just tell by the way my clothes fit and stuff that I'm still up there. I haven't lost a lot of weight. And I just like always, whatever. The point is that when it comes to this physical stuff or anything, I never sit down and just like make a challenge to myself. I think that's a really useful exercise, because it's like once the rules are written, then I need to be able to, and again, creating a challenge that isn't going to do the thing like this did to me. Like when Trailforks made this thing, I'm like, oh, I didn't ride one day, now I'm screwed. Like, you can still ride, like you still get advantages to riding those other days, not just like self-benefit stuff, but you still get like entered to win other prizes for every day that you ride. So there's still an advantage and an incentive to do those things from their end, because you can be rewarded with physical items, right? And like, for any way that I challenge myself on a daily basis, it's never like a concrete, like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write every day. I'm going to draw every day. Or like, I'm going to make a piece of visual art every day. Like, that isn't something that I've told myself. And the thing is, if it's too strict, then when you fall off once, it's really easy for me to just like stay off and be like, hey, well, I screwed up once, so that's it now. Like, there have been things, and I've talked about this in other vlogs, that I've like, I don't think I have an addictive personality, but maybe, or I guess it's borderline. It just depends on the thing, which is dumb to say because everyone could probably say that. But like, for me, alcohol was like, I didn't drink very much, or I didn't drink for very long before I realized I was using it as a negative coping mechanism. So I was like, bam, stopped, and I didn't drink again for 11 years. And now I can drink in moderation. I still have yet to be drunk in the past year that I've started drinking again, but it's more of just like, I just get either a little buzz, or just sometimes I don't feel the effects at all just because it tastes good. But anyway, like there's things that I've just like stopped, like things like self-harm. Like, it's easy to stop things for me, like cold turkey, generally, depending on the thing, but I mean things that I was in the habit of doing. But when it comes to like, you know, like a challenge or I don't know, like something like this, it's really, if I just fall off one day, I should just be able to say the next day, like, okay, well, just start again tomorrow, right? Like, and when it comes to challenging yourself, what's the benefit? Like, am I going to reward myself with something later? I don't really feel the need to do that. I don't think I need to do that in order to be accountable to myself. But it's just interesting and annoying that I feel more accountable to someone or something, some entity named Trailforks, than I do to myself. Because I was happy to do this 30 days. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to really push myself. And then as soon as I know I'm not going to get the badges for it, I'm not going to get entered to win, all of a sudden my motivation went out the window. And I was like, well, screw it now. If it's like crappy weather tomorrow, I'm not going to ride. Like, I can take a break now, because like 7 days in a row, and I've never done less than 11K in those 7 days. And some of those days I did 18, 15, like closer to 20K. I've been climbing back up to the, I did a double climb the other day to like all the way up to the west side and then all the way back, and whatever. If you know Lethbridge, then I'm going up and down, whoop up, and so whatever. I mean, it's challenging, and I enjoy it, and I've been having a lot of fun on my bike, but it's like I said, it's really annoying. I'm finding it annoying now that I'm like, well, now all the winds are out of my sails now. Like, I just don't feel motivated and want to push real hard because I can't be like, whatever, because the whole contest from this other entity, now I can't complete it in the way that I want to complete it. I'm so weird about being a completist. I need to talk about that some other time, because I've done some really dumb things just to like complete the activity. Things that I didn't want to do anymore that were wasting my time. Ugh. Anyway, I should definitely talk about that sometime. Again, there's things that I was ranting about this over Facebook Messenger to friends, and that's when I had the idea. So extend this external processor thing has been really great for me, and this being able to talk about it here. I'm not as good at challenging myself as I thought, because I could just say, I'm going to finish out this month of July no matter what. I'm just going to make it happen. I'm just going to do it. But I mean, like, I know that it wouldn't be fun to go ride in the rain and the mud. Or if it's like 50-kilometer winds. To me, it's not worth it anymore. The ride is not going to be very fun. So it's like, why would I put myself through that just to say that I did it? Like, my body could afford one day off of like not riding. I don't know. It's tricky. I don't know what to. I don't know. It's something that I need to reflect on, because I don't know how many other people feel this way, that they're more accountable to someone else than themselves. Because I thought for so long that I was much the opposite. I don't really want to play by anyone else's rules, or someone has like an expectation of me. Well, that's your expectation. I don't give a shit. Like, I need to know myself, know what's best for me, and follow through on those things. So that's why it's so weird that, like, oh yeah, there's this contest and whatever, and now, well, it's gone now, so screw it. I don't need to ride my bike as much anymore. I don't know. Like I said, I thought that I was better than that. I thought that I had more motivation. I thought that I had more discipline, more. I don't know. It was like, I'm not relieved by the fact. Oh, good. I don't have to do the contest now. I don't have to ride every day. Like, it wasn't a relief. I'm annoyed because I can't do the thing that I thought I was doing. It's just not available to me. And so the only thing that I'm going to get out of it for sure is just this self-accomplishment. And why isn't that worth as much? Like, it was still, none of them are going to give me a pat on the back and be like, oh, you did it. Like, I'll get a little digital badge on my app. That's what I would get. And I guess that would be cool. And I know I won't get that. But I mean, like, that little pat on the back, why would that be worth more than my own, like, yes, I did that thing. I did it. I really pushed myself. I challenged myself. Like I said, most times I challenge myself, it's not with like a specific set of rules. It's just like a daily, I mean, I feel like I live that daily because I'm willing to challenge myself or be challenged at most times by other people. Sometimes not enough because I just shut it down, or I'm not open to hearing it. I want to be more open, but it's just like, why does that little thing mean more? It shouldn't at all. And I don't know if that means that I should give myself like more parameters and more specific details for like challenging myself, because I've had ideas about like I should do a little drawing every day, getting in that habit of just doing a visual art, like anything visually like artistic every day would be great. Or I need to write every day. Like, I bought a book that would try to like, but I've never set it in stone. Once I set something in stone, usually I'm really good at following through, like with quitting things or with trying to do things. Once I get derailed off of that and I feel like, okay, well, it's lost now, it's like the streak is gone, it's hard for me to get back. Anyway, I don't know, it's difficult. It's dumb, and I need to be better. So, yeah. See you on another time.